Hi, thanks for joining into this video to learn a bit more around the promo Gantt chart, a custom visual in Power BI to visualize your promotional phasing in time. I created that on behalf of vibecode Studio, which is a sub-brand of worksmarter.nu, which is my own company that I started already quite a while ago, focused on FMCG companies to support them in journeys on pricing and promotion. And to be honest, it's going beyond that currently. So I've created this custom visual to overcome the hurdles that I was facing during my time within Unilever, but also after that in some consultancy assignments to visualize the promotional phasing in a way that it really reflects your needs. Because the standard visuals in Power BI, like the matrix visual, yeah, can help you to at least create kind of a grid, but that doesn't really, yeah, provides you with all the answers that you have around the promotional phasing. Like, hey, how do I compare against last year? How do I plan my promotions related to my above the line? Stuff like that. Also on overlapping promotions with other retailers. All that insights that you're looking for when you're looking into the phasing of your promotions, that's hard to put into a standard visual. And that's why I developed a custom visual for that. So let me show you around that custom visual in this video so that you get an understanding of how it works. And if you like it, you can start downloading it and use it for free for 14 days with a few features that it has. And then there's a link to the website where you can buy a license to extend that to what I call a pro license with all the features in it. So basically, here on the Gantt itself, it shows all the promotions. On top, you see the timings related to quarters, months, periods, and weeks. And above that, you have some filter options. And those filter options, the first two, are related to what you see here in the first two columns. So in this case, it's around brand and customer, but I can easily change that to, for instance, brand and segment. So you see that it's rendering quite smooth. So that are the first two drop downs where you can switch whatever you like. So the first two, customer and brand, are default settings that I expect always are relevant for you as an FMCG company. And then you have three other fields that you can add here in a flexible way to show the promotions in the way you would like. Then next to that we have the option to color your promotions based on, once again, customer or brand, but also, for instance, on the promo status. So once again, three fields to be added there so that you can switch your views to whatever you like. And then the last drop down here is the zoom function. So currently it's on a year view, but you can also change that to half year view, a quarter view, or even a month view. And with the month view also the days of the weeks becomes visible. Using your mouse you can scroll back and forward, bottom and top. When you hover over a promotion it shows you the details, and you have the option to add 10 more fields to that to show you, for instance, things around banner region, but also incremental turnover and incremental profit, planned versus actual. And the option that is available since January 2026 by Microsoft is that you can straight away drill through from the tooltip is also embedded here. So with just a single click we can now also navigate to the promo details page, which is now a simple page that I set up, but showing you then the details on product level. So back to the visual, you see that it remembers the position where you left. So when you scroll down to details or you navigate to other pages and you refer back to this page, it will remember where you are. And here on top we have some additional things. So first of all, the ability to add the above the line campaigns above your promotional planning. And you can filter also in this visual by clicking on one or two levels so that you can easily see your promotional phasing against and filtered for the filtered brand so that you see only relevant information. So that's the first button. The second button that you can touch is a button around the promotional phasing. Then it's probably better to refer to customer and then brand. Makes it a little bit more easy to show what is in there. So when I activate this, the visual will show you the last year promotions in this year so that you can see, hey, for instance, on this brand, Cheese King, we had already some promotions last year in example customer Albert Heijn, and this year the first promotion is just planned on week 45. So you can expect at least a lower promotional pressure, and that might also then impact your performance. So it's good for S&OP meetings, for instance, to explain your forecast going forward in terms of, hey, the promotional phasing versus last year. You also see 3 icons, and those icons reflects for the first one the promotions where you have planned multiple brands in one promotion. The overlap indicator, you see it here as well, indicating that you have an overlap on this brand. Let me reverse it now to brand and customer, because then it's showing below each other. So here you see all the promotions with overlap, and there's a setting for that you can define how many days at least the overlap should be. So in this case the default is on more than 2 days. Then the promotion is marked as overlap based also on the fields that we use to identify the overlap. So that brings me more here to the field section. So we have options for the categories, which are showed here and then being able to select it here in the drop down. And then we can define the second level, the promo name, promo ID, and the customer and brand field. And then here we have the indicator for how multi-brand promotions are being marked based on the promo ID. So same promo ID, but with different brands are marked as multi-brand promotions. And then we have the overlap customer fields, where I now added brand, segment, but also region and banner. Up to you to, of course, know your data and know what's needed here to identify that. And then it's all about the coloring part for the options related to the color by option. And then when I go downwards here, you see all the options for the tooltips. The event weeks are these yellow barred fields which you can add to your data set to show you important weeks for your promotional phasing, like the World Cup soccer or whatever, with a start and potential end date to mark multiple weeks. And then the lowest wells are related to the above the line information that I showed you. And then there's a supportive thing, I need to step a little bit back, record type, which is an additional field that you need to add to your different data sources that you connect in the backend to get, let's say, your total input. So in here I have one table with all the promotional details and one which is the combination of the event data, the above the line data, and an aggregated table for my promotions. So I have information on SKU level available, but for the visual I aggregate that to the level I want to see. So for instance, that can be on segment, but that can also be on content types, so that you group your content of the products together. And that looks a little bit like this if we go to the backend. So I have those tables here available, as the raw input, and then I have the above the line campaign event date table, which is looking a little bit like this in this example. So the events with an end date for multiple weeks, and then that additional column like I mentioned for record type, and that's then flowing into the total view, which is a combination of the three tables here to show you all the information that you need. So let me close this one and go back then to the settings part to explore a little bit more about that. So here in the license part you can enter your license key if you want to start using this from a professional base, and then you can download the visual and put the license key in here. The demo version is just working with this demo data, so you can use it to explore if this would add benefits to your organization. And then of course there are a lot of settings that we can turn on and off, starting with the gantt settings, where we can turn on and off those indicators, and also define the colors of those indicators. And then in the time part we can turn on and off the quarter or the period view. We also have the option to change the way we look to the periods. So currently it's now on the fiscal year weeks. I can put that back on ISO weeks, and then it will just start on ISO weeks. So there's a different way for that. The way the periods are being displayed can also be chosen in a 4-4-5 rhythm in terms of weeks, or a 4-5-4 rhythm, or just a 13 periods of 4 weeks. And then there's some additional features around the situations where we have 53 weeks in a year. And also for companies, countries like the UK, I know that they are quite often looking for Sunday as the start date of the week, so that flexibility is also in this visual. Now we can define if we want to see 1 or 2 categories in the row axis part, so also a lot of settings here. And then we can define the labels and settings for the ghost and above the line settings, and then all the color and also background patterns for all those color fields. So there's a lot of stuff that you can change. So to, for instance, reflect in the customer coloring part the color codes of that customer. So I hope this explains a bit about how this visual is set up and how flexible it is. I think it's at least a good addition on the standard visuals, which give you more overview on your promotions in terms of the number of promotions, etc. And with this you have a real good insight in the promotional phasing, serving different needs from a trade marketing perspective or a finance perspective, or from a business review point perspective. So it will hopefully serve in your company different needs in just one visual. So thank you for watching this demonstration that goes of course beyond the plain pictures on the website or on the App Source site. In case you have any questions, feel free to reach out either via support@vibecodestudio.nl or via the website. You can also book me a time slot to check in on detailed questions that you might have around how to apply this to your own organization. And of course, if you want to try it, you can download the demo version to play around with the demo data, and you can also download the visual itself, which has a 14 days trial in it, so that you can try for yourself if it would add value to your business. And then once again it has proved its value, you can buy the license via the website, and that link is also in the license part in the format pane of the visual then. So hope to see you again, and thanks for watching.